Okay, now let's go to part C. In part C, we have one more new term that don't be confused with that in part A and part B. That one is the total floor area of public housing flats needed. Okay, those are the area needed. So I highlight in red there. And in part A and part B, we are talking about the total floor area of all public housing flats. So actually, these two are different. So first, you should read the question carefully about the two different terms. Okay, now and then from the question, we know that the area needed is A and then times 1.21 to the power n plus B, and we know that we have the two area in the first and the second year. So how can we find how can we solve the problem is that we need to find out the unknown A and B first. Okay, and to solve for unknown A and B, then we have the first year, it is A and then 1.21 plus B, and this one equal to 1 times 10 to the power 7. And the second year, we have 1A times 1.21 to the power 2, and then plus B, which is equal to 1.063, and then times 10 to the power 0. So we have the two equations like this. Okay, now and then next, how can we solve for A and B? Is that we can just use the calculator. Okay, then by solving them, uh, you can use calculator and then put down, or by solving them, we have A and B. So use the values in the calculator A and B, and you can find out A will be 300 over 1 times 10 to the power 6, and B is 7 times 10 to the power 6. Okay, now let me explain a little bit about how can we get the value of A. From if you use a calculator, you will get a number around 2 something, and how can we convert it into a fraction is that you can see that in the question we have in part B, it is 7 times 10 to the power 6. It means that the order of A and B, they are quite close. So it means that A, you can guess that it should be some number times 10 to the power 6. Okay, now from B, it is 7 times 10 to the power 6. So you should expect that from A, it should be some number, the value of A should be some number times 10 to power 6. Okay, after you calculate from the calculator. So you use the value in the calculator and then divide by 10 to the power 6. Then you can change it to be the fraction 300 over 1 to 1. Okay, you can divide by 10 to the power 6 and then to use the button in the calculator to convert it to be 300 over 1 to 1. Okay, or you can have 3 with x zeros divided by 1 to 1. So this is the values of A and B. So you should know how to solve it by calculator first. Okay. Second, how can we solve the problem? Now from the question, we need to find out where the total floor that one I highlight in purple is that in part A and part B, and will the total area greater than that one in part C? That is the total area needed. So we need to set up an inequality. Now you can see that I have this inequality. Now for this part is that one in part B, and the right hand side is that one in part C, and we need to determine whether the total area will be greater than the total area needed. So we set up this inequality. Okay, now if you are not sure how to convert a into a fraction times 10 to the power x 10 to the power 6, you can just keep the value of a in the calculation. And the value of b is 7 times 10 to the power 6. And we need to further simplify this because we found out we have left hand side 3 times 10 to the power 6 and right hand side 7 times 10 to the power 6. So we move everything to one side, then we can get, and you can see that I move all the terms to one side, then we can get this inequality. And then how can we solve this kind of inequality that you can observe? We have 1.21 to power n, and we have 1.1 to power n minus 1. So you should think about what is the relationship between the 1.21 and 1.1. Okay, so I think you can just you know that 1.21 is square of 1.1. So we can have 1.1 to power to power n and then square, okay, minus 1.1 to power n minus 1. However, we can still have the problem that at the first term we have 1.1 to power n, but in the second term we have 1.1 to power n minus 1. So how can we make them the same term? Is that we need to write both as 1.1 to power n. And for the second term, I should write as 6 times 10 to the power 6 over 1.1 for the coefficient. So we have this inequality. Now to solve such kind of inequality, then let me replace 1.1 to power n by x. So I have this. The x is 1.1 to power n. Okay, now how can we solve this kind of inequality? Remember, this is a quadratic inequality. So we need to sketch the graph about this quadratic graph. Okay, I mean the expression at the left hand side. And if you how can we sketch? We need to find the two x-intercept first. Okay, and after you use the calculator formula 01, then you may find there's a math error. So it means that it is the graph does not have the x-intercept. So, and here a is positive, so it means that it is a graph like this. Okay, a parabola above the x-axis without any x-intercept. Okay, so clearly the function at left hand side is always positive. It's always positive. So there's no solution. Okay, but how can we present in our work is that we can't just draw a diagram to represent there are no x-index or there's no solution. We should do something to explain. Okay, and what can we do is to use the delta that discriminate. The delta is this one minus 4 times a times 4 times 10 to the power 6. Okay, now even you from your previous calculation, if you not sure about what is the how to convert a into a fraction times 10 to the power 6, but you can still keep a in the calculation and then put in the a here. Okay, you can save the a in the calculator and then to find out the delta to determine whether it is positive or negative. After you use the calculator, then you can get the delta is equal to negative 9 point. Okay, this one times 10 to power 12. Okay, if you use the exact value, the fraction of a, that you can get, actually this one is given by 12 negative 12 over 121 times 10 to power 4. Okay, now no matter what method you use, the exact value, fraction, or the value from the calculator, you can have a conclusion that the delta is less than 0. And because delta less than 0 and the a, the coefficient of x squared a, is greater than 0. So from the conclusion that we based on these two, delta less than 0 and a greater than 0, then the graph is open and upper. So we have the expression that is the left hand side of the inequality. This one is greater than 0 for all x and for all n. Don't forget x is 1.1 to power n. Okay, so there's no solution for the inequality. So the claim is incorrect. So that is incorrect. So this is how can we calculate in part C? That's all.